Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jeranism, back with another video for you today. If you're a person that's been researching the shape of the Earth, then you have undoubtedly come across a video, or 100, made by some snot-nosed sphere leader who goes on and on about the southern star trails, and how, of course, they prove we live on a ball zooming through space. Now, if you are simply married to your beliefs because someone told you, and you jump to quick conclusions and say that they only work on a ball, well, to me that's a religious position. When you claim to back science, and by that you mean that you make videos, call others stupid, while repeating things that you were taught in books, well, it doesn't get much more religious than that. Here's an example of somebody so smart, and I mean, he is so smart, he gets to call other people flat-tards because his intellect is so far beyond what any flat earther could ever even dream of. Here he is. Schoolyard logic.
But what about the southern hemisphere? What will observers in Australia, southern Africa, and southern South America see when they look south? Well, according to the Flat Earth, observers in these lands are going to be looking in completely different directions, and they're sat below a sky that rotates above them around a single point. How, though, can observers on a flat Earth looking south see the same thing when looking in different directions from a flat surface beneath a single spinning sky? They can't. It's geometrically impossible, and that's why flatards have to avoid the topic like the plague.
Oh, thank goodness for good old science, telling us what's geometrically impossible, and then I'll just show you how it works. So what's happening here is we're having 3 different people at 3 different southern continents, all looking in opposite directions, all south according to them, but they all see the same stars in their sky. And this, according to everyone, is impossible. And the reason that you don't want to get dogmatic and claim things are impossible, or that they only work on a globe, is because you never know. And sometimes you come across something. In this case, Curious Jay from YouTube showed me what he had bought, which was a dome-style, half-dome magnifying glass. I put some links down in the description if you wanted to take a look at some of them on Amazon. After you see what they're showing, I think you'll want to get one. They're fun to play with, and then I also put a couple links to some lasers. Mix those 2 things together, and it is fun, till Daddy took the T-Bird away. Let us continue. Now, let me point this out from the beginning, because I have to, otherwise people will go down crazy street. Before we get started, I gotta say something, because otherwise people will just assume it. I am not saying that these things are true. I'm not saying that there's a dome. I'm not saying that this is the way the universe works. I'm not saying this is how the southern stars work. I am putting something out that's interesting that I found, hoping that people will run with it and kind of do their own testing, or will just recognize what we're seeing here in front of us. Now, of course, I could just take the high road, make my life easy. I could even come across as being very smart, and just be like Gem Panda or Cool Hard Logic or Voice of Treason, and sit back and say, it's impossible. Okay? Somebody already figured out everything for us. Noah Posner died twice. Gravity, science, Coriolis. Morons. The largest detriment to science is by far those involved and those backing it, who blindly follow and repeat with no knowledge that they've earned on their own. But if you see what we're doing here, we're taking these dome pieces and we're holding them up against a circling star pattern, and we're looking at Polaris and the northern stars. And if you look and we start to kind of peer through the edge of that dome piece, we see another point of rotation. And guess what? It rotates the other direction. The only weird thing about it is it doesn't have a point that those stars are going around. But do the southern stars have a point that they go around? Nope. The reason why? Because there is no southern celestial pole. What we're looking at is the outer rim of the plane of stars circling above our head, in my opinion. Again, this is fun for everyone to try. You can get one of these, you can play with it, and I'm going to show you some more stuff I did. So the coolest part about this whole thing is that it kind of solves all those little problems in one fatal swoop. Because no matter where you're at on those 3 continents, and all of you are looking south, you would all see the same stars. They would just be rendered differently for each person, which would be relative to where you're at in relation to the dome or to the glass piece. So, I mean, really cool. And again, they're also rotating the opposite direction, which is required. And they also are rotating around an empty spot, not a star, because there is no southern star. So what we've got is a plane of stars all rotating clockwise, and what we see is the alternate spin due to this atmospheric lensing.